Hello there, early start. Good morning to the morning group. Good afternoon to the afternoon group. I hope you all had a lovely Easter and welcome back. I'm sad that we can't all be together in the classroom, but I have a little activity for you that you can do with your mum or your dad, and you can give them a little bit of help around the house in the kitchen if you're able to do this, okay? So for this activity, we need some cutlery. So cutlery are the things that we use when we're eating. Do you remember when we were pretending that we were in a cafe and we had our plates and we had our knives and we had our forks and we were pretending to eat our food? So for this activity, you need knives, forks and spoons if you have them. So if you can get some knives, forks and spoons from your cutlery drawer and put them out onto the table. That's the first thing we need. So if you can do that, and we'll get started. So if you have maybe 3-4 of each thing to get started, that's great. If your child is really enjoying this activity and wants to use more cutlery than that, then work away by all means. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to sort out our forks and put our forks together. So I've a fork here, one here, this is another fork. Oh, and look, one fork is hiding down here behind the knife. So I have my 4 forks there, and then I'm going to sort my knives. Now you have to be very careful with the knives, children, remember, because they can be sharp and they can cut your fingers. So be very careful when you're handling them. Only hold the handle bit down here at the end. Don't put your finger up near to the top. So I have my 4 knives here, and then I have 1, 2, 3, 4 spoons. Okay, so can you remember when we were doing our beads in school and we sorted all the beads that were the same color together because we wanted to do a pattern? So we put all of the one color in one container and all of another color into another container. Well, we're going to do that today with the cutlery. So I have sorted the cutlery into 3 groups. So I have all my forks together and all my knives together and all my spoons together, because I'm going to make a pattern with the cutlery. Okay, so I'm going to tell you the pattern that I'm going to make. All right, now just for the parents, sometimes some children find it easier to hear the instruction and can work from that. Other children will find it easier if they have a picture telling them what to do. So I'm going to do it first of all, just saying what the instruction is, and then I'll show you the picture that matches up to it. So the first thing that I need, I'm going to move these just over to this side here. I'm still keeping them in their 2 groups, look. I'm just moving them over that side so I have space to put my ones down here that I'm going to have for my pattern. So the first thing in my pattern is a knife. So I'm putting my knife here. And the second thing in my pattern is a fork. So this is my pattern. It has 2 parts in it, 2 different things, a knife and a fork. So the next thing that I'm going to put down then is going to be a knife. So a knife, a fork, a knife, and a fork. And what's the next thing going to be? Oh, I can hear you, I can hear you. You're right, it is a knife. So a knife, and then what's next? A fork, and then what's going to be next? That's right, another knife and another fork. So there's our pattern. Knife, fork, knife, fork, knife, fork, knife, fork. And here, just to show you the pattern on a piece of paper. Now, I am not the best at drawing, but I've tried here. So a knife, a a fork, a knife, a fork, a knife, a fork, a knife, a fork. And if you have more cutlery, I only have 4 knives and 4 forks here, you can continue your pattern on. So if I have 4 knives and 4 forks, how many pieces of cutlery do I have altogether? Well, we count them and see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have 8 pieces of cutlery. So now we're going to make it a little bit more interesting, and we're going to use the spoons this time. So I'm going to put my spoons over here, and I'm going to move my knives and my forks over there as well. I'm going to keep all my knives together so I know where they are when I go to use them, and I'm going to keep all my forks together. So my knives are here, my forks are here, and my spoons are here. I might just move my spoons down so that it's easier for you to see them. Okay, so there are my spoons. So this pattern is going to have 3 different things in it. It's going to start off with a spoon, and then a fork, and then a knife. So they're my 3 things. 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to do my pattern the same again. So I need another spoon, a fork, and a knife. So can you tell me what's going to be next? If I have a spoon, a fork, a knife, a spoon, a fork, a knife, a spoon. Well done. Spoon, a fork, and a knife. Now I'm just going to move these over a little bit closer together to make space for my last group of cutlery. So the next thing is going to be a spoon. And what's next then? A fork and a knife. Well done. And here's our picture. A spoon, a fork, a knife. You see? A spoon, a fork, a knife. A spoon, a fork, a knife. A spoon, a fork, and a knife. And if you have more cutlery, you can continue your pattern on if you want to. Now, another thing you can do is to help setting the table at home. So maybe you might be able to get 4 forks out of the drawer for the dinner. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So there are my 4 forks. I'm going to put them over to this side for a moment. And then what else do you think we might need? We might need something for cutting up our food. So they'd be the knives. So we're going to need 4 knives as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to leave them at the sides there. And then our 4 spoons. 1, 2, 3, 4. We might need those spoons for getting maybe our potato up off the plate. So can you remember how to set the table? So when you're setting the table, your fork goes on one side of your plate, and then your knife goes on the other side. So we just have to pretend there's a plate here. Hold on, and I might draw a quick plate here. Okay, this is going to be our plate, look. So there's our plate, and then we're going to need a spoon as well. So maybe sometime over the next few days you could help with setting the table for the dinner. You could get the right number of spoons and forks and knives out of the drawer and help set the table and get it ready for the dinner. And if you do that, I'd love you to send us a picture and we can have a look. Or if you do the pattern, send us a picture so we can have a look at it. Okay, bye early start. Talk to you again soon.